Hi guys, I'm Daddy Freeze, convener of the Free the Sheeple movement and leader of the Free Nation in Christ. I greet you and I bring glad tidings. I'm not going to take much of your time, but I saw a video with Nollywood actor Hank Anuku, if I got that correctly. And I'm a bit bothered, to be honest. What's the state now? Shan George came out and said, no, there's nothing wrong with him. He's okay. That they were on set the other day. Then two other ladies came out and said, no, that Hank Anuku is actually not doing quite well right now. So what is the story? Who knows this particular actor? He's an amazing talent, by the way. I can't say I grew up watching his movies. I watched quite a lot of his movies in when I was in the university. So I know he's got quite a lot going on for him in the talent department. But what else is happening? What else is happening? Please, if you're joining me live, make sure you have light in your house. Eh? Auntie, I don't know if you hear you. If you don't get light, your phone don't get mic. People will send you request lives. Meanwhile, they're inside trenches. Please, I need a proper update on this story. Okay, step momic 2. All right, step momic 2. Step momic 2. I've sent you an invite. Please come live. So if you know what is going on, please share with us. If it is something we can help with, if not, we can help him get the necessary attention he may need or drive people his way. So if you have any useful information, I would love to hear it. Send me a request now, and please make sure you have light in your house. I'm begging you in God's name. Make sure you have light. Yeah? MAC say rubbish, you turn yourself lawyer. You see, must you at every available instance showcase the fact that your mother got pregnant for you inside an uncompleted building where she was playing around with a street lunatic? Because you see, I need to explain this here. The genes of lunacy are so deeply embedded in you that with every turn of the tide, every wave of a leaf, every stroke of a clock, you continue to exhibit how unhinged you are. Now, this is aside from being obtuse, which, by the way, is a character trait of every single family member of yours, male or female. So, can we go back to people that have sense? I'm trying to send requests. I don't know. Guys, make sure you download the latest Instagram before you. Ife Wanko, how are you doing? Samaria Bob. Peter Bojili. Samaria Bob, let me bring you live. Samaria, what's going on with Hank? Come, I'm clicking on you and you are disappearing. Go live. I'm always think they fear me. Carry Kate.
Big Daddy, I'm going to place. You won't kill me today.
What happened?
Not one. If I said, the only people who don't get sense, they tell you. Anybody when they don't come well, make you come follow you they talk. Make you follow you they make they cut you off for social media. Because stray bullets when they jam their papa. I mean how person go there? Your papa mama say village maybe the rest they not pan channel.
I swear. So some of these people, if you see how hungry they are, Samaria. Some of these people, if you see how hungry they are, if mosquito bite them, it go be like say they do blood donation. The amount of blood mosquito go draw from them be like waiting they go pull come out for blood bank because nothing did their body. Some people will never chop. Today now Wednesday evening. Some people never chop Monday breakfast. Small data like this where they go get because they stay near their Oga window and the Oga on free Wi-Fi. They will come begin the throw. Now when you invite them come live, that's when you go no say they be internet orphan.
I know.
They not get papa, not get mama.
I don't say your head no food, but no they expose them. If your parents they so that thing.
Ah.
How they dress?
Omo. Carrie Kate, how are you?
I'm fine, Daddy Freeze.
Carrie, sister me. By the way, we're having our church service on Sunday. So yes, if you're interested in joining us, I think we're filled up, but you can still send in. Maybe I don't know if I can contain one or two more entries, but nonetheless, let's see how it goes. Please, the reason I started this video is I'm looking for what's going on with Hank Anuku. Someone said there's no excuse to have a foul mouth. Please don't come to my live. Your papa dey on that tree where they kill mosquito now. No, let me carry and come join our live. Oh. Your mama they dress up now. She won't go her witchcraft meeting this night. No, let me drag and come back. Oh. Your mama they prepare to turn to bed. Where she go take flight, they go their witchcraft meeting. May she go the witchcraft meeting, JJ. Wait till I go talk to you tonight. Then no go collect your mama for witchcraft meeting again. No. She go as she fly, they go, she go hit pole, come down, turn to woman back. Everybody go gather for her head.
Oh goodness. They enjoy it because it's funny when you cuss them and everyone on the comment section likes to have you cuss. So it's a deliberate act. I think they just open an account and use it just to get you to talk.
Somebody say my father is dead.
Make I block him because wait till I won't tell him. The papa feel resurrect. So make I just come out from here. Make I know they tempted to yap him.
They just enjoy the corn.
Omo, if so don't give me. Come. Kerry, rain they fall where you did.
Yes, it's raining.
I they see the rain, I can't the one that say you did trenches. I can't remember saying no, you did London. And true this. Because now so rain they fall inside house. So. Baba, when you live for city, they go say rain they fall, you go window, go check. When they live inside trenches, rain they fall, you go no for the house, because go they drop for your head. No be here the sound, go they drop for your head. You go adjust. When rain won't start, you go adjust.
I don't know when you rain from my house, but just say, I will come out and say that don't fall it, you have like.
Now town you they stay. If you they stay trenches, know how you no go know. If you they sleep, the rain go wake you because go they drop for your body. You can't adjust. If they watch television, you go. Then another sure way for trenches. Once rain blow like this, they go first seize light. They go seize light straight. Come. I'll tell you a quick story. Bukola, Ibis Love Haven, made a post where she was supposed to use exist. So where she was supposed to use exit, she used exist. And she now typed something that really inspired me. Exist or exit is a deep message. Exist or you exit.
Or you exit. Yeah, that sounds
This
good.
life, if you are not ready to exist, you will just exit. And let me tell you the funny thing here. Some people live till they are 60, but they exist. Some people live till they are 90, but they are exiting.
They're exiting.
They don't exist. You understand? They don't account for anything. They live a hand to mouth. Any day they not walk, they not go chop.
Yeah.
Any day they no walk, they no go chop, because that day walk now you guarantee that night food. So it's very deep. Find a way in which you can exist and make decisions. Decision making is very important. You way say you no get your man no get your man no get. You can't want born 5 children. You know they think. You know.
Last, all the them will survive. That's the kind of
somebody say, Daddy Freeze, Nakata just fool your brain. They not tell you, wait. They not tell you before you come here. Okay, at least kata dey inside my own brain. Your own brain. If person put head ear like this near your ear, you would hear. Now breeze they blow like hurricane inside your head. As in, your head empty, so they dive away, they dive, go look for something on the ground. If you use your head as oxygen tank, just plug hose to your ear, put out for your nose. He carry you go dive. If he breathe 3 days, nothing go do. And go they breathe, they go with the amount of air way through your head. As you do like this, you not feel drown. Not how that your head go they blob like this, block for water. Because now so air full am. I tell you. Come. Back to Hank Anuku. Una no want talk about this Hank matter. Waiting they happen.
Funny enough, I think there was a video of him I saw, I think about a year ago. Like he wasn't really looking, he wasn't looking well kept. And that was a very disturbing video as well. And after a while, we started seeing, I think they had a video of him where he was drunk and he was sitting on a security post. And that really caused for concern. Then after a while, we started seeing him again with the micro. I mean, he was in his videos, and I felt like everything was cool because that guy, like you said, used to be the best. If you ask me, I enjoyed his movie. But I liked him. He was my Hollywood coach then. I was little, but I really liked him a lot. So,
Peter Ebojele, mute your mic. Sorry, wait, mute your mic.
I think he had some kind of when you miss. I think he's having some kind of substance abuse challenge. So he goes in and out. I understand he's a full-grown man. I mean, he's aging every day. He's probably in his 60s. The last time somebody said he was in his 60s. So he's, that's the reason for maybe his look. But then, the way he was dressed, if that wasn't a movie they were shooting then, it means something is wrong. He's getting out of hand. It looks like an addict. And I don't know where the Actors Guild, I don't know what it is they are doing, but they should offer him help and not trying to cover up whatever is going on with them. I don't know what is wrong with it. I mean, I just don't understand with the whole Actors Guild or the whole award giving, but they don't look into, they don't take care of themselves. They don't take care of their members. They don't do nothing. I don't even think they have, those Actors Guild, let me ask, do they have a thing like some kind of health insurance, like package or like kind of doctor?
They don't first pay the actors' salary first. You they talk of insurance.
I wouldn't know if they
have my problem with you people that live abroad. You think everywhere is like abroad.
Exactly.
As it did like that. As they see me, so even me. To get insurance, I have to pay for it.
Okay, what if they have like some of their members, maybe like some kind of doctors amongst them, like people they can, kind of, whatever it is. What is it all about, man? Because they don't end well. I must say this. I'm sorry to say, but they don't end well. Especially their men. It's always a disaster once it comes, and they don't really render help as much as they should. And it's really saddening. Not Hank, for goodness sake. That guy, that was the talent there we had.
I think he has a condition that he comes in and out of it. So when he's in it, you now see that video of him wandering on the streets and looking like he's crazy. And when he's out of it, you can actually see him in the movie actually acting and in the movie role. So I think he has a condition.
On Lucy Michael's post, that's why he's always on his videos. He's always in almost all his videos. So addiction, man. Sometimes it's not a good. Say no to substance abuse. You never leave anyone good.
When I did secondary school, that guy Hank Anuku, all in films that they like watching.
I swear.
The guy was mad.
That guy is a big gangster, anything gangster, something, bonds, And the guy way back, the guy they do Jandon something, somebody when newly come back, those kind of thing. But you see, growing up, I got to understand a lot of things when I did not know before. You see, in this life that we live, there are people who are talented. There are people who are multi-talented. There are people who either they have one or two stress for their background, where they say, fit tell, say, why is this person not performing better? Even when they are in a better pedestal, but they still don't make the expected mileage, that people expect. Then some people, they will be saying the kind of plans they have may just be one of their setbacks. For example, I have seen people that we grew up together, highly talented. In fact, there are some people I believed in their future more than mine way back in secondary school. And today, when you see them, they've not really made any progress. I know some people who still live with their parents. We grew up together. They had a bright future. For some, they were not able to handle life as it came. For some people they learned bad habits. Some people don't just smoke. They want to go to a higher level. They continue to look for something that will hide them more than what they are doing now. And some just find out, they just pass there lost. I know somebody who is mad as we speak. He used to be normal. He is mad because the guy has tried a lot of things. I said, that guy feel buy fuel, open the jerry can, inhale the scent of the fuel just to hide himself. And today is abnormal. So a lot of things, people go through a lot of things. For some, maybe now something push them enter. Then there are some people who cannot handle as simple as breakup. I've seen people who either because they lost somebody in their family, they became redundant. They just think and they just go into oblivion. They were not able to handle it. I've seen people who they break up with somebody, and from the breakup, they just cut off from everybody. Maybe once in a while, friends just come in and say, I'm going to do something. So it may just be possible that Hank is one of these persons caught in the shell of, maybe bad things, something bad happened to him at a time, and he just probably couldn't get himself together. Because somebody like that guy, based on when he does the act film, and by now, no, that guy is supposed to go very, very, very far. But sometimes we sit down to imagine what's going on. But from my own little experience, I've discovered that a lot of people go through things and they react differently. There are some people go through a bad situation and never come out. Some come out once in a while and then they still go back to it again. Then there are some, they made a lot of money to a point that the money destroyed them. The money will now make them to learn a new attitude, but that new attitude may just be the same thing they need to go back. I've seen a difference. There was one day a story. The guy who want to talk one story, and that guy was my student in Uniben. The story he want to talk that day, he told me personally. This boy at the age of I think 17 was when he left secondary school. So at 18, he has a dream of becoming a big boy. He just wants to be big. So he decided to go into politics. He joined PDP. Way back, that was around 2010, 2011. So he joined PDP as a young boy. The boy get ginger. They always go meeting for one area. They call him Uredo. So the guy did Uredo, I think, Ward 1. So the small boy, the ginger, anytime they hold meeting, got the, ginger. All those men call the look and say, oh, with this smally way you come join PDP, or they try to encourage old people. And that boy was very strategic. He gathered his friends, like 4 or 5 of them, carried a go meeting. The person said, this one I mobilize, and it's a bit mobilize people. After some time, he rent chair. When they want to meet, he rent rubber chair, in with his friends, carry the chair, come meeting. So this boy inspired bigger people within the PDP to begin to do things for their ward. Do you know that election came just 1 year after this boy joined PDP? They knew PDP was going to lose the election because of Oshomole at that time. But because of the way this boy, the ginger, do you know that a candidate gave this boy 5.4 million? The first money when he hits this boy account as a teenager was 5.4 million. From a candidate. Another time they wire 7 million, give this guy. Say this boy now mobilize, like if he mobilizing young people, those 18, 19, mobilize them to get their PVC and vote. Do you know that when this boy saw that money, that was when he stopped attending meetings? And not when they go meeting again, big boy, on the road, come back BMW, on the road with Yahoo boys. Damn, why Yahoo never have a pick like that? So this boy became so big that he could not stay put to what gave him the money in the first place. That's why they lost. On that few years, the boy broke. Now, by the time he don't broke, when he don't come back to PDP, that guy will give him money that time, that guy don't go House of Reps. Hey! They don't know him again. So that was when he now decided to come to Uniben to study, I think, post-science. Now, post-science boy read.
Wow.
So that guy had an opportunity. He blew it because he could not handle it. So there are a couple of things that draw people back. Some people own are just attitude something. I explained something to somebody one day. I think yesterday. I say, from what I have studied so far about curses actually are not maintained by a specific demon in many cases. Curses leave people with a character that will always make them go back. So that the grandpapa will drop the curse, he don't die, go. But that character will make the curse come into effect. He will live on inside that person. The person will always be one they fight people who want to help him. If the person is a carpenter, see what will happen. The person will have a lackadaisical attitude to his job. The person will get bad mouth. The person will come to say he will like pleasure. Once these 3 things are complete in the life of that carpenter, he's finished. Because when you give him a job, make this chair, how much? 600K. Actually, now 200K.
Peter, I personally don't believe that those are curses. I just believe that they are character traits that hinder success. I don't
Good.
think
That's it. Now the point. Now the point when they make me that. I
you
tell
no
you
need
what
they
we see.
spiritual, no need they no because. But now just at you see, let me tell you, everything in life now attitude. Everything in
Yes.
life now attitude. Now, some people understand their weaknesses and their negative attitudes. For instance, me, for my life, I know say, if you want make I fail, give me early morning work. That work will go require say make I wake up 5 a.m. Just know say I go dey useless for this life. You understand? It's part of my character. So every time you go define me work, you will come say, ah, Daddy Phil is so lazy, he's so unproductive. You understand? When I was growing up, if you ask my wife will tell you that this guy he works all day, he doesn't stop working. But if you ask my papa will tell you say of all the children, I mean lazy pass. So sometimes some people don't blossom because they are not in the right soil. You get what they tell you. And
Yes.
sometimes money is a devil. I'm not saying this in a spiritual way, I'm saying this in a physical way. Baba, me and Taste Boss they talk about this night. We're watching Black China. They say Black China makes $20 million a month from OnlyFans. Not naira. Her annual salary is 240 million, not thousand. If you earn $240,000 in America, you are doing well.
Exactly.
Americans, Samaria,
Explain
if you
well.
earn $240,000 a year, are you not doing well in America?
Yeah, you're doing good.
Now imagine $240 million. So me and Taste Buds sit down, they talk or say, oh boy, this kind of money, blah, 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 blah. I tell Taste Buds, say, if I make $50 million, I will never work again. What am I working for? It's like you people enjoy stress. I will invest. I'll be so calculated in my investments. I think go Ikoyi, maybe buy 3 houses where I know say the value of this house is not go drop. Like Ikoyi Banana Island. You understand? And I'll make sure there are blocks of flats. I fit get the penthouse on top. Make sure there's something where I fit rent out. My investment, say I go open business. Are they mad? I get money where I suppose they spend. I won't come, they wake up early morning, they chase people, they do the business. It's like I don't know how people sit down and calculate things. Say, and they give me $50 million.
That means you want more.
Never. You see, now hold on. If I want more, I will structure my life in such a way that that more I will want will generate itself without me doing any stress. You don't know that. Listen, if you let me explain 50 million. Some people don't understand $50 million. If you buy a house of $500,000 and a car of $500,000 a year, it will take you 50 years to finish that money.
That is true.
If you budget, if you budget for a year, you will eat. No way if one take eat food $50,000 a year is impossible.
That's true.
If you say, okay, aeroplane, me and my family, 3 trips a year, first class, you know if you spend another $50,000, max, let's say $100,000. If you say you want the latest motor, now the luck way you go get, say if you dey America, you go they pay 2.5 a month, you go drive Ferrari. Say you pay, okay, let's say 5K a month, which is 60K a year. So you go even stretch the money for you even longer. So in that kind of, if you get that kind of $50 million and you live for that kind of America, while you no go spend $200,000 a month, a year. Because your house go be mortgage, your car go be mortgage or rent. You go just spread the money out. You go live.
True.
So why do I now want to wake up and go and walk? Do you understand why? You know, see Femi Otedola post something. I know they get message. He posted a quote, said, "Gentleman of leisure, somebody who does not need to work to support himself." Now where me they go with that too? Say I go just wake up for morning. Aside from preaching, I'm not gonna even go live again. Why they stress myself? Drink go day here, I will just preach the word of God, evangelize. Then go to the Louis shop. Then
But
go.
don't you think you would have a lot of things that would be draining you at that point?
Lot of things like what?
You would want to get domestic help. You would want to.
Yes. How much is domestic help? How much is domestic help? How much is domestic help in the UK? In the US?
Okay, now you're talking about overseas.
Hold on. Imagine I want to hire 2 house girls for US. How much is it? 2 for my house for US. How much is it?
House helps here. I mean, you would pay. It depends. I mean, house for regular nannies. I mean, you would pay from 2,000 and above, 3,000 and above.
A month, Abby?
That's right.
Let me pay 5,000. In a year, I pay 60,000. I never still scratch my money.
But how long do you intend to do that
for the rest of my life? Listen, my budget is, hold on. My budget is spend $1 million a year. And I will spend it for 50 years. After a while, I go look and say, what if I don't live these 50 years? I go begin to spend $2 million a year. So that the money.
How about your shopping? How about that of your family?
How much family they take shop? You won't carry your children go Louis Vuitton, go they shop for them. You will go Gap now, go shop. If you give each child $50,000 a year. No, listen to me. There is no amount of money I want to have in my life that I will. My children underwear na Primark. They are 19 at Primark. You won't go buy LV underwear. Make I give you gist. We came to the UK in March. The clothes we bought for Baby Freeze. By the time we came in August, they're not size them again.
Oh, okay.
So August we buy another set. We come now. We notice say in don dey tall past the trouser. So we can't they tell her say make he pull the trouser. We can't wear shorts for her. Say make he pull the trouser down. At least make him manage and district. Now one day me and Taste Boss sit down look at ourselves. Say no be mumu with the mumu. So we dey enter Tommy Hilfiger the buy clothes. Say come. These children clothes. Buy them 1 or 2 things from Gap and Tommy Hilfiger. The rest go buy from Primark. So if you don't walk, if they outgrow them, you go buy another set.
Exactly.
Let me give you another example. When we're coming, all my tickets were first class and business class. But guess what? I dey carry small pikin with me. Shey I go leave am for economy. Me and mama go fly first class. Or me and him go day first class, mama go day economy. It's not possible. So in fly, he enjoy am as a just though. When we are flying with your sisters, you with them go day economy. Me and your mama go day this business class, first class. Business class, first class is not for children. It's for person who don't work, one rest. I don't know.
But why do men do that?
Everything for life.
He was in the business class and he was in economy.
Who?
A friend of mine did that, and then he said he was trying to teach him how to make money himself.
Yes. Now, if it's just me and my son traveling, I can say okay, but say I won't carry my whole family travel. Now me and their mama go day business class, the rest of them go day economy. Waiting they know say that they do for business class. Let them go and learn how to walk.
Everything.
Make I give you gist. I they wake my children up when I they walk. Say they go they grumble. I say look at you. Look at you. If you send them any message, they go tight their face. They go grow. Nobody like work. They like the enjoyment. My papa no carry me fly business class. First time I try business class for my life. Now me carry my money go pay you. My papa carry.
The truth is that a lot of times, some parents they actually give their children work. Make I explain. Because you have the money, you introduce your children to the life of buying expensive things when they don't have their money. And sometimes in life, as they grow up and find their food, on something, they may earn far less than their father with a higher taste. At the end of the day, they're going to give themselves problem. A lot of times.
Hold on, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Daddy Freeze.
Yeah.
I think I found the kind of man I want now.
What kind of man?
Beside me. He just put beside me.
Show me.
Oh Lord, he looks like Bobby Risky's brother. No.
Why we they here? They calculate our life. They look man. I can't bow for you. So then you go find yourself Bobrisky brother.
That means nothing.
And I saw the man today. This one must be Bobrisky's brother.
That difference.
Huh?
I dealt with my friend this morning. We did discuss something. Just bring up the talk because I get one house. We just drive past. I just look there and now tell the guy, say, my wife saying like this very house. So I can't reason the house. I can't the house too they compact. Now duplex so. For me, I did like something bigger. My wife not like putting too big. Only when it comes to cars, that she they like the big ones. But when it comes to house, they just may not too massive. But me, I like them to be massive. So that one tell my friend they work with UBA. Now I tell the guy, say, imagine say your salary for the next 30 years, they give you the money at once. Just carry all the money, give you once. I said, do you know that a lot of times, because of fear of the unknown, you want people go the hustle, maybe you for not broke. I said, but meanwhile, when they pay you the salary on a monthly basis and you work for the next 30 years, you will still live a fulfilled life. You will still buy land, you will still build house, you will still drive cars, because they give you the money small. And so a lot of times, when people have big money, when they say big man, big problem, sometimes not just mindset, they make people distort themselves. Like me personally, I do not have a dream of becoming a world billionaire.
Wait, I want you to do.
Wait, I beg, no best.
I may become
how old you say now, sir? Which time you say you don't get it? Your time, your opportunity don't pass now. Wait me that.
You never pass.
You don't get it. You don't go.
He never ever reach. You see, listen. When I bought my first car at 22. When I was 22, in fact, before 22, I never knew I was even going to have money at 22. But what I was just doing was my little business. I was just doing it and putting the seriousness
I'm messing with you. I'm just playing.
No. I understand. The point. The point is, at 18, I wrote JAMB. There was no money to go to school. I passed. No money to take go do clearance. That was when I was 19. I left secondary school 18. At 19, I passed JAMB. There was no money to go to school. So that was what inspired me to go into business. Very petty business. So sometimes people say, go bring money. But the money I made was far beyond the money I expected to make. So I was not planning to own a car at 22. I was not planning to be living in a flat as a student. It was never my plan. But as things just fall in place, money just today do one. I just see somebody now, they say, yeah, some people don't get sense for this life. Oh.
Don't mind them, they don't get sense.
Some people, they are raising $2 to the point that they see how they make money apart from negativity.
Yeah, buddy.
When their papa na bricklayer, listen, their papa na bricklayer, their mama na gbelekpawo, how their brain, you see, it is what you feed your brain. Your brain is like, let me explain something to you.
Hey.
Your brain is like a Ferrari. Wait till you feed them 9 be the fuel way there inside. You know, say Ferrari. If imagine say you get Ferrari, you can't pour this can of fuel inside them. You can't get downfall. You can't fill the tank. You put the two of them for racetrack. Sure, you know, say the downfall go finish before the Ferrari. Because the Ferrari go take off, go do half mile, the fuel go finish. They'll come begin, they push am the rest. Meanwhile, that downfall, go they go small, good, small, go catch the Ferrari where it break down. Come they go, they overtake am. So you see, sometimes your brain is sharp, but there's no fuel inside. There's no brain fuel inside. You see, you are a consequence of your environment. That is why I don't mess with I don't buy my children Gucci, but I make sure they see me buy it. When I buy Gucci, I come and show it to my children. You understand? I will come and rub it in their faces. Come and see what Gucci looks like. When I buy LV, I don't buy LV for my kids, but I make sure they see it. I make sure they see the receipt. You understand? I feed their brains. I feed their subconscious. You see, if you don't do it, I won't begin to talk now, but nobody don't buy stars. Come now, only one person buy stars before I begin to talk this thing where I want to talk. And they share free secret. Prince CK. You don't buy me stars. Thank you so much, Prince CK. The rest of you, go my Facebook page. Go my Facebook page and go and buy star. You go learn tire today. I go teach you now how we they do them. How do you buy stars on my Facebook? Just go to facebook.com, click on the what's that thing called? The search bar on the top right hand. Type Daddy Freeze, DADDYFREEZE, right there. Then scroll down to today's video. You see today's video right there. Click on it, and right there under the video you will see how to buy stars. And if you buy star, I go hail you. So come to my Facebook. It's Daddy Freeze, DADDYFREEZE. Come over and come and buy stars. DADDYFREEZE. Okay, so let me now teach you how to do it. You see,
Daddy, please kindly bring someone else. Maybe bring video, man.
Why do you want to go?
I just got to my gosh, don't give me that because I didn't like.
Oh yeah, bye.
No problem.
So what I wanted to say is, surround yourself with things that challenge your mind. You are not going to know. You see, your brain. That's why I try to explain dreams to people. Your dreams. Have you ever noticed that you've never dreamt about what you have never seen before? It's very rare. Think about it. Work with me. Have you ever dreamt about what you have never seen before?
No.
You will always, is either you are dreaming of food. You will never dream of food that you have never eaten before, you have never watched on TV. Right? You would, whatever it is that you dream about, 90% of the time are things you've done, things you've seen. So what you do when you're dreaming is your subconscious mind is trying to process and reprocess information in a way that you will understand it. That's what happens when you are dreaming. A lot of people think it's spiritual. Oh yes, there's some spirituality in dreaming, but I can assure you that 90% of dreaming is your mind trying to rearrange the information it has in a way that you can understand.
Yeah.
So why am I saying this? If you have not fed something to your mind, it cannot even appear in a dream. That is how delicate dreams are. So sometimes when all you do is feed your mind poverty, your dreams will always linger around poverty. You will find God in poverty. You will find God in hunger. Yes, the scriptures are clear. God loves poor people. And by helping out poor people, you are guaranteeing yourself in God's kingdom. And also, the Bible also chastises the wealthy. But you see, you have to draw a balance. You have to be able to move around because you can't change this world if you are poor. You can't. Somebody said the other day, Daddy Freeze, why do you drive a 2022 Benz? And I'm like, if I drove a 2009 Camry, you will never listen to me. No matter which truth is coming out of my mouth, you say this one. If that thing is working, you will not be hungry. I'll tell you a story here. Fidelity Bank, the one on is it Ajose Adetokunbo Ademola? About 10, 12 years ago, I was outside the bank. Now, there was a guy driving a Corolla. He had reversed and hit a guy driving a range. The range guy called the Recam. Everybody called they beg the range guy, including me. The guy called the tell us saying they sorry. The guy just they talk to him anyhow. All that was until the one bank lady came out. I was like, look, it's okay, sir. She was now begging the Camry guy, let's calm down. It's okay. You know what? It's all right. She now tried to pacify this. She now went and sat down and was hissing. So I now went to meet her because she was close to me. As a matter of fact, she did throw me eye that time. Once they were me too, I did throw my eye because she fine, I no go lie. And that was those years when I was still in the world. So, because I was very close to her, she now said that she doesn't like the way that Corolla guy does. That do I know that that guy is one of the biggest suppliers of one thing in Alaba market. She said that this guy brings in 100 million naira every week through his accounts. Meanwhile, that Range Rover guy borrowed money from them. He has not been paying. They want to use police to arrest him, so he came and paid small out of the money. That Range Rover guy, she opened an account. And make her not talk because now I don't want because I don't mention the bank name, so I don't want to talk as the story take end. So that's. But what I found out that day was that guy in that Corolla was doing yes sir for somebody that he can pay salary. He was doing yes sir for somebody that he can employ simply because of perception. So there are two lessons to learn there. One of them is be humble. Your outward look does not guarantee what you truly are. And the second lesson is create an impression of yourself, or else person will not get reach you go talk you down.
True.
If you see that because this other guy is a trader, his shoes were not particularly clean. His car was not particularly nice. There was one time I used to have one guy in the Free Nation. He was our biggest donor that year. If I call now and say we need 300k, he would just say sent. The first day I saw the guy in my life was driving Camry. Me, I know say get money because if I get say this woman they just cut her leg, we need 600k for the surgery. One person will say I pledge 100k, another person will say I pledge 50k. You just saw me, Daddy Freeze. How much have they pledged? I'll say 250. That means the rest is 450. Abi, check your account. You don't send the 450. You know they talk. There was a time I was going for some event, and my security bill that year was about 350k. As just as I announced it, he just called say Daddy Freeze. No need to announce. I've sorted it out. Meanwhile, the first time I met this guy in my life, he was driving a Camry, 2009 Camry. So you will see that guy, and then you will see those guys that will drive big motor. You will tell them to bring donation, they will bring 10,000 naira. I don't know if I'm making sense to you. So you see, yes. What am I trying to say is, of course, at the end of the day, he ended up buying a Benz and all that. But what I'm trying to say is, the impression people have of you can treat you in a certain way. When you wear a Rolex, for instance, you enter a shop, there's a way they will treat you. If you enter LV, you wear Rolex, and you just walk into LV, you might have more money as that other person, but they will give more respect to that person. And sometimes what people do is buy respect. Now, how does this apply to our children? My method of training children. Now, this is not, I'm not preaching this as a doctrine. This is what I believe in. I believe children don't have value for anything, especially rich children. I bought my kids PS5 when it first came out. 2 weeks later, there was dust all over the PS. I asked, I said, can't you get a rag? Do you know how expensive this thing is? You understand what I'm telling you? Their TV in their room, one day, one of the kids was checking her nails, so she just used her hand to touch the TV, like you see the 5-finger mark, like this. I was livid. Now, their clothes, which I consider rags, those clothes they wear, those clothes children of this generation wear, to me are rags. They will fold their rags very neatly, wash them very neatly, hang them in very neat places, because those things are valuable to them.
Exactly.
But that television, they don't know where they sell them, let alone how much they buy them. Do you understand? When you use your money and buy something, they get value to you. Have you ever noticed that with children before? When you give them business class, if they've flown 3 times business class, the day you carry them for economy, they go begin the grumble give you. So,
Exactly.
like say you carry them suffer. Meanwhile, if you carry them fly economy class all their life, then once you just decide to treat them business, they go appreciate them. Do you understand what I'm telling you? So you need to be careful what value system you create for your children, because if they cannot sustain it. Let me give you an example. There's a lady that called me yesterday actually, talk for like 1 hour, that she wants to give me a case, that the case is going to interest me very much. Unless you call me now, say you and Bobrisky they fight, or you catch one big celeb wife and you get the picture, no story where you want to tell me. So I said, okay. And Taste Buds was in the shop with Baby Free. So I was like, all right, let me hear how. I give her 1 hour of my time, which I never do. If I give you 1 hour of my time, if it's a personal issue, I'll bill you $100. If it's product, I bill you 250,000 naira. Say you want to talk to me about your business. Once I say, okay, I'm going to talk to you at 5 o'clock, the next thing I'm sending you is my account details. I don't have time to sit down and be talking to people. But I said, okay, I'm inside this London. It's not like I'm doing anything. I'm outside. Taste Buds is in the shop, so that I'll not get angry if she doesn't come out on time. Let me just use this to talk to you. And he went on and 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 on about the matter. So I at the end of the day, Taste Buds was coming out, so I had to get off the phone. Then today again, she calls me again and wants to continue the story. After I told her that, I used to tell her that, look, I'm busy. There are people like Kerry is here. I've not called Kerry since I came here, and every day I keep promising I'll call her. And Kerry is important to me. But there are people that have not called. So I now picked up the phone, and then she's now telling me about her father's property that they want to collect from her, blah, 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 blah. And I sat down and I thought about it. Wallahi ta'ala, I say this without bragging. There is no property of my father that somebody want to take that will go there and fight them. You want to take it? Enjoy. I swear to Almighty God, I have not seen the, and it's not like my father does not have property. My father has a 30-something room hospital. But I have built my life in such a way that there's nothing of my father's way in my eye. Nothing where my papa gets, where my eye they chook. So if somebody tells, so what I tell my father is sort your life out very well, because everybody they drag your property, they go drag among themselves. I'm not going to even show up there. If they ask me, I will say I don't know anything. Because property now they keep person quick for this life. But what am I trying to say at the end of the day is, your father, it's not like she's not doing well, but she obviously is not doing as well as her father did, because the big property where she did they talk. I know say no easy for you to get them by yourself. So as your papa don't get them, your eye they there. Of course, at the end of the day, my conversation was, This matter is not a charity matter. If I'm going to bring you to my life, I will bill you my rate. My management will not allow me to do house of and property for free. When it's not like you, if for instance Kerry calls me and says she cannot eat and she's in the UK and she need, I can bring her live. But say you get property for Asokoro, you get property for Banana Island, when I come they fight on top of the property, I can't give you free interview. No. I carry and reach my management. My management don't even answer me. They just read. You know when they read WhatsApp and they no reply. They just read. I don't know. See, make I not even bother myself. So what am I trying to say in essence is raise your children in such a way that they will be bigger than you. And one of the first things you can do for your children is give them drive. Sometimes when you have everything all mapped out and planned out for them, they will make money, but they will not be able to make more money than you. And that's a bad thing. So you need to, is my humble opinion, I may be wrong, but that's how I intend to raise my kids. And I also allow my kids to watch me squander my own money so that they know there is nothing for them in the future. What I'm going to give you now is your education. Work hard. Collect it. The little lessons you can learn from me as we go along, collect it. When I will die, whatever I have will be shared among all of you. It will not be much. You know why? Because I will make sure that whatever I leave when I'm done with this world is like 10% of what I've made. I would have eaten the 90 inside this my belly. I will have worn it on this my wrist. I will have worn it on my 2 legs. I will have reclined it in business class. I will have stayed in nice hotels with it. What you are going to get is whatever I have left. Now, if this watch appreciates, because watches appreciate, you will be lucky. That's your luck. If the car depreciates, it's still your luck. As soon as Siam na so na go share. I will never build property where my children go. Listen, my papa family, na property scatter them. My mama family, na property scatter them. My father's uncle's cousin, as I get uncle where I know they greet again because my papa and they vex, and if I greet and go be like say, I they annoy my papa family then. And the uncle was nice to me, but I can't talk to him. Why? They gave their father's property, they shared it. Same thing with my mother's side in Romania. I get one cousin, she they carry me go my auntie house. She can't drop me for junction. I can't waka go the house. My auntie come ask me, say, where I they go? I say, I go buy sweet. I was 30 something. What am I saying? I was 40 something. How old was I in 2017? I'm 46 this year. 2017 was 5 years ago. So I was 41. As a 41-year-old, I dey lie to my auntie, say I go buy sweet for junction like small pikin, unto say she no fit know say na my cousin from the other side come pick me because of the family fight where they get on top land matter. So I personally detest having landed property. I detest it because I've seen my family members. Then the next day she's coming to pick me. I'm now trying to whine my auntie to tell her that I want to go somewhere. Then my auntie is trying to peep over the fence to see who's coming to pick me. On top waiting. On top land where they share, the ancestors share. These ones collect the better side of the land. Then they carry, as in my family carry themselves, go cut on top land. So what am I trying to say in essence? We need to be careful how we raise our children, because I'd rather have siblings that I can talk to than siblings I'm not greeting but I have land.
True.
And all my mother's children are like that. None of us. If my sisters would fight for my mother's property, it is because of the sentimental attachment that is our mother's thing. Me. So teach your kids how to think out of the box and get themselves some things. Once you don't get property for this life, so you get house where they live in, you don't do okay.
Yeah.
Anything else, that's my own thoughts. And hey, by the way, people have not started buying stars, and so many people they here, almost 700 people. If in one core. So are they here now? Wait till now they think.
So see, everything what you talk, That's my kind of idea. Like I was saying before, I know say this life I go make better money. But I don't want to keep myself say, oh, better put my name for Forbes. No, I don't want. I don't want. The guy where I go make money, I go they like to they relax more. Because you see, Bonner Boy somewhere say, don't go to still they find money. One day, me and somebody talking that line, then I say, if me they don't go to level, I go to sleep more. The reason is simple. When you understand one thing about money and how much you fit chop, how much will you use before you die, you're not supposed to they knock your head, put, not they sleep, not they say, oh, want to do this one.
Somebody said this auntie that they speak English. Which is wrong.
After all the hustle, you just labor yourself for nothing. Now when you see job be your own. If you get private jets, now when you get where you fly and go, now you go fly. You pack them, you they pay put. You know, the truth remains that in life, if we just try to be effective and do what you are doing and make something out of it, if we just stay that lane, there will be less trouble in this life. And the way you just stay explain, say they bring up your children, that's the exact way I think.
Now, let me tell you something, yeah. Let me tell you something, yeah. A lot of people don't get, there's one part that your people don't get. Do you realize that 80% of businesses opened fail within their first 5 years?
True.
Sometimes, I'll tell you a story, yeah. 2 stories. A guy was releasing a bird he kept. He just felt that, I've kept this bird in a cage for too long. He released it, they caught him, and they made him pay $10,000. Another story was some fishermen saw some fish, some prawns and some shrimps, and they felt that, oh, all these vegan people, oh, you people are wicked to these things. They now went to release it back in the sea. They were made to pay £15,000. I'll tell you why. You see, sometimes that good act is actually more destructive than a bad act. Because what looked like a bad act, you are keeping, this bird is not from this region. If you release it into the wild, you can go and read about Australia's cane toad problem. They brought the cane toads to eat, I don't know what animal it was. The cane toad did not eat the animal and multiplied to the point where it is now a national problem in Australia. So you need to understand that sometimes you carrying that money to go and do business when your papa no get business for your blood, you don't know anything about business, you are actually going to lose that money. Money where you're supposed to put inside your savings, they chop small. You go can't go use and do business, you go lose all. They will come tell you, motivational speaker go tell you, say you are going to learn a lesson. Let me tell you, if you are not cut out to do business, you will lose money and you will not learn any lesson. Doing business is like singing. Let me break it down to you. Doing business is like singing. As you sit down for where you sit down, you go see Naira Marley go come out hit. What's this guy's name? Burna Boy go come out hit. Do you know how many musicians were playing around the time Burna Boy was playing, and they were doing better and they had more prospects than Burna Boy?
Yeah. Today we're not there again.
Where are they today? Now so business be. Now so business be. You have to understand it. Now, everybody will say every business is a risk. I agree. There are some risks you are not prepared for. You see, if you look Dangote probably sleeps 3 hours a day.
True.
He probably reads 5 hours a day. You want sleep, wake up late, and you want be Dangote. You, once you collect your first money, you want go lodge inside one hotel, knock babe from night till morning, and still you want be like Dangote. Have you sat down to understand that every type of business is accompanied by a certain temperament?
True.
A certain mindset. Do you have it? You will never sell sweet to make profit. Now you want to sell cement. Do you understand that for you to run a successful business, somebody say, I'll work for myself. Do you know how bad working for yourself is? It means you have no sleep, because once you work for somebody, if for instance now Peter Ebojele open company, hire me, the first thing we argue is, what time do I resume? They say 8:30. What time do I close? 5:30. Once 5:30 knock like this, I say, Oga Peter, Sean sir, I don't close. Once you work for yourself, you never close.
That is true.
If your business requires you at 5 a.m. to go to the office and be there till 5 a.m. the next day, 24 hours straight, you will get up, wear your cloth, and go.
True.
Do you have that in you? If you don't, leave business. Business is also not for the faint-hearted. Business is not also for people who sleep in Ajegunle and want to be doing business in Banana Island. You have to learn that those people that do business in Banana Island start from renting boys' quarter in that Banana Island and growing.
Exactly.
People that want to make Banana Island money do not build mansions in Moe. You always hang out around where the money is. Now, when you are hanging out with those people wearing money, when they wear Gucci, you go wear around with them. When they spend 10 million for their naming ceremony, you go spend them with them. You will walk with them. Are you ready for that lifestyle? Some of these business. Have you ever wondered that Mike Adenuga is divorced? Dangote is divorced. Yes. At least I'm from my understanding. Out of to be a billionaire, you are more likely, your marriage is more likely to fail than if you're a regular guy. Are you ready for your marriage to fail? You will want a family unit. You want to surround yourself with family, but at the same time you won't be billionaire. You don't know, say these people feel come out. I was talking to one billionaire's son the other day. The guy said, say and his papa come home from work. As he was entering his room, pulling his shoe, his father just called him that we are going to France. They are warming the plane. That he should just pack his bag now, and that gives him 10 minutes to meet him at the car. They don't come home. As he enter, his father was waiting for an appointment with, I think, the French president or something over one oil deal that they were trying to seal. The contact in France just said, yes, you have a slot at 7 a.m. tomorrow to meet with the president. What does that mean? It means that now they are going. That's why business, you think all these business billionaires, they have private jet? Because the private jet is for that meeting now. You cannot buy air tickets. So as they call, as they don't call pilot, they warm aeroplane down. By the time they got to the airport, they had gotten their clearance pass. As they drove straight to the plane, walked on the plane, 10 minutes later, the plane was taxiing to take off. 6 hours later, they were landing in Paris. Can you live that life? Which woman won't follow you stay? Sometimes you will fly the jet around. Your wife go day house lonely. One small boy we no get she go begin the bench. Can you handle it? If you can't handle it, leave billions alone.
That's true.
If you cannot handle what comes with it, leave it alone. All this motivation, yeah. Listen, you don't have, for you to build the next generation, all you need to do is be impactful in your generation. You can be impactful as a chemistry teacher.
True.
The world is built on the principles of people like Isaac Newton. They were not billionaires. Michael Faraday, they were not billionaires. But the world is built on their ideologies. So you don't need to start a company. Most people believe that if you don't start a company, these build. No, they are principles. Albert Einstein did not own any company. But the principles upon which physics rests are based on him. Stephen Hawking. Someone said, listen to Akpogbome. So why are we against pastors using private jet? Isn't it for the work of the ministry to move swiftly? Where is the ministry going? That's my question to you. Which stupid ministry? The ministry that, since I don't do this London, I never see one church poster. What ministry are you doing? I was having a conversation with a pastor today while we're driving, and the guy says, I said, how did he start? So we're rubbing minds. He said he evangelizes. He's trying to get people to come into the church. I said, me too, I evangelize in Nigeria. I'm trying to get people to get out of the church. The problem in Nigeria is the people in the church. So if that Nigerian formula, if we need private jet to take it to the world, I think that's a very useless venture. Religion is something you don't need a private jet for. What are you contributing to? When COVID happened, how many pastors did they call? When there is war in Ukraine, how many pastors have they called? Any matter that requires global attention, religion is the last to hear of it because they don't contribute anything. It's only in Nigeria, where we are underdeveloped intellectually, that religion can be a source of mental stimulant for us. Religion is a mental stimulant for the obtuse. The moment your head is correct, you will know that you cannot. So the pastor will land and everybody will run around the pastor, and then for what? That he wants to pray for you. Who is praying for Prince Charles? Abi King Charles? Who is the person praying for Elon Musk? Instead of you to sit down.
You get what I want to just quickly talk.
Talk.
You know, sometimes some people, when they listen to you talk, they're not they listen well. They want to distract because they get what they get for mind when they want to talk. For example, you see this lecture you don't give since. These are some things that people will never sit down to ask themselves. They want the money, but they don't want the stress that goes with the money. They don't want the sleeplessness, the restlessness that goes with it, but they don't want the thing. That is why there are a couple of Yahoo boys where they say personally, they look them as people who not get sense. The reason is that they don't really know what they want, apart from saying don't get money. They don't get why they need the house. But some go build house finish, they say they stay hotel. So uncoordinated life. However, there are people who say they want to grow their business. These people want to grow their businesses, but they want to rest. They want to rest. At the same time, they want to be very big. They have a big ambition, but they want to rest. Meanwhile, people with that magnitude of ambition, they know they get rest. So a lot of people see this lecture again. Finally, there's one final thing that you have said before, and me, I don't talk this thing entire different times. Say people when they say that they listen to person based on how much the person get for bank account, they don't get sense generally. The reason is that your bank account cannot give a lecture. It is you, the owner of the account, that can give a lecture. You can teach somebody the principles of becoming rich without you being rich on your own.
I want us to talk about this. Sorry, brother. Prince Duke says religion, wealth, but salvation. Elon's success is not what we describe with religion. Religion is salvation. How many people has Nigeria's religion saved? Let's talk about salvation. How many people do you think in Nigeria are going to make heaven? Let me tell you one of the criteria by which you will miss heaven. Greed. Hold on, let me read. Wait. Let me get Bible for you. Maybe you won't make we talk.
Okay. For me, I think personally,
because if I know address this, let me tell you, the stupidity in the way they've raised these people to think is what worries me. Many of you think that because you go to church and Elon Musk does not go to church, you will make heaven before him. I worry for that mentality. Let me tell you, it is what your pastors tell you so they can become rich. They create a need for themselves, whereas in reality they are useless. Hold on, let me read this. Let me read this scripture to you. Let's examine this very well. 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 10. Let's read from verse 9 so you understand verse 10. It says, don't you realize that those who do wrong will not inherit the kingdom of God? Don't fool yourselves. Those who indulge in sexual sins, worship idols, commit adultery, are male, or practice homo. Verse 10, or are thieves, or greedy people, or drunkards, or are abusive, or cheat people, none of these will inherit the kingdom of God. All of us understand the drunken, the male and male. All of us understand those ones. But have we ever sat down to talk about greed? Have we ever sat down to actually talk about greed? The average Nigerian pastor is greedy. They teach greed as a need. But you are here saying Elon Musk will not make heaven, but religion helps you make. Have you ever sat down to actually think these things through? Hold on. Let me read another scripture for you. Because it's like you people always like to read what your pastors want to show you, so they can, you see, Nigeria is a country where we tend to look for justification for our foolishness. So we have brought out Elon Musk. So you believe that all those people going to church in Nigeria, they are going to heaven. The Bible says narrow is the way. 50 million Nigerians at least go to church regularly. Do you think any narrow way can take 50 million people? You see, you are in hellfire on earth. Do you know that Nigeria is the equivalent of hellfire? No. You don't have an idea. Let me give you an example. I was coming to the UK. I'm entitled to $2,500 PTA. My wife is entitled to $2,500 PTA, which they will give to us at government rate, which is 447 naira to $1. Sure, they hear me?
Yes.
They say make we fill form, we fill form. They say we should come to the bank with our documents, we went to the bank with our documents. They say we should credit our account with money so that they can withdraw it. We credited the account with money. On the day they finally approved the money, on the day we're driving to the airport, we stopped over at the bank and filled form, and they scanned our passports. We came to the UK. Do you know they did not give us the BTA? They said, I wish I could read the message. Is that a country? My entitlement. Now, I now said, okay, since I have traveled, can you just do it and credit my account? At least if you can do it, I'm away for 12 days. If you can do it anytime between, they say no, that once that's past your travel date, we cannot give you the money. I have my Zenith Bank dollar card here. If you credit the account today, I will begin to spend the money tomorrow. First of all, you are giving me a limit of $2,500. Really? What can $2,500 buy? Okay, give us the $2,500. They will not give us. And you think you see, my problem with many Nigerians is because their mind space is so narrow. Apart from that bus conductor work where their papa they do and that orange where their mama they sell, their horizons revolve around that. You don't know that there is a world outside your hellfire. That's why you don't know you are in hellfire. I remember when I was living in Arimo, Ibadan, I was telling my guys that we are living in the ghetto. They said this is not a ghetto. Baba don't know where in the inside. Me, where they go Bodija for that Ibadan, where they go UI, and they see the world. I know say this place not ghetto. They follow me argue, say no, this place is not a ghetto. Because that's where they are. That's their world. Some of you don't realize that Christ does not want you to live in hellfire so that you can go to heaven. You don't understand how bad it is. Basic things that Kerry lives in the UK. Basic things, since I've come to this UK, light has not gone once. As in, this is a basic thing. Electricity, basic. Water, basic. If my government provides me water, they have not done anything. Is when my government gives me a house when I graduate from school, that's when my government has done something exceptional. But pipe-borne water, electricity, road, these are the basic things you are supposed to get from your government. All our estates have borehole. Why? Because the government has not given us water. We all have our own generators because the government has not given us electricity. If we remain went to tar our road, we go tar them because the government has not tarred the roads. So at the end of the day, it all boils down to that mentality. The more you study scripture, and when you come to our church service on Sunday, there are some things I'm going to teach you. You see, if you read the book of Thomas, the book of Thomas says, when you asked Christ, when Christ was asked, let me read it to you so you get it. The book of Thomas did not make the Bible, by the way, because of course politics. They say it does not. So many books did not make the Bible. Meanwhile, the Bible they quote them. I want to read this part of you for you. That book of Thomas will take you about 2 or 3 hours to read. Sorry, I need to look for it.
Okay.
Somebody should be Kerry, you've not talked since morning. Yeah, Kerry, talk while I'm looking for this verse.
I greet you all. Someone said I don't speak English, that's why.
Kerry, where they do Kerry, they do a PhD or I be masters. She has a master's, she has a PhD, and she's doing another master's.
I'll be spontaneous. You like book where be that now?
Hey, Kerry like book.
There's one, you get with somebody talk about quickly trash. Somebody say praying for destiny helpers, he condemn them. So on the other person got to say it no make as in not be bad thing to pray for destiny helpers. The truth is that there are some things we pray about in Nigeria that are supposed to be basic necessities provided by a good government. That is why people like us, they clamor for person wey get sense to at least steer the ship of Nigeria so that we can face a better direction. There are some things we fast and pray for in Nigeria that are unnecessary to even tell God about. For example, the next meal to eat, it's not something you're supposed to pray. Destiny helper is something you don't need to pray for when you have a working system. In America, people, they say many people are one paycheck away from bankruptcy. Yet, the number of people who get into hard life in America, you cannot compare to Nigeria. For example, Notorious B.I.G., one of the rap, he said way back when they didn't have money, they used to eat sardine for dinner. Sardine is a big man food for Nigeria.
I swear.
But for America, now poor man they chop sardine. So you can imagine the same life. One person need to be big man to chop sardine. Another person say sardine sakpa. That's when one got one kill. Now they eat sardine. So these are things we are talking about. When government not good, not be prayer, you take change up. Go and vote, participate. But a lot of times, in the name of religion, we will not participate in making history. We want God to help us make the history. And you know they work like that. And a couple of times when people begin to trash these things, they see them as antichrist. These are normal things that as human beings we're supposed to get sense. No, say government create enabling environment for people to have their lives. for people to run that. Look this BTA matter we talk now. So today I dey trash one guy issue. The guy on the first say people should change the narrative that dollar is 400 and something and not 800 like people peddle. I say my brother, leave politics. Let's talk. Can you get the dollar at the 4 something in Nigeria? No. But if you want your 800, you buy dollar. Nah. That's because the government, as the government don't bastardize the system. We are not now saying, oh, who should you blame? Let us repair this thing. We don't say it bad. We won't pray to change it. We will work to change it. So a lot of times, some people, where they're supposed to work, they pray put for Nigeria. Where they're supposed to pray, they pray. Where they're supposed to work, they pray. It doesn't work like that. We must come to the realization that there are some things where we say a basic something. That's not supposed to pray to get work. Now you want to go work. Now you see the fast for work. It's not the rest. You want to go rest. You want to go work. If you look at Nigeria, things are difficult. Government is making things difficult for people. When they reach that time, the government say in America, so the quote figure, the quote unemployment rate, the quote, but nobody will quote say the minimum wage in America compared to a professor's salary in Nigeria. Somebody earning minimum wage in America earns more than professor maximum wage. From Nigeria, so these are things we are talking about.
Who?
Rita.
You are not running anywhere.
But if it's our classes in the morning.
Just wait 20 more minutes. I will go. Me too, I have to go.
When you live in a country that is not working, there are a lot of things. There are a lot of things to say you bother your.
Just hold on. Let's bring Rita on.
Okay.
Let's bring her on. She go attack us plenty today, and I get her time.
I don't see her comments.
So when you talk about destiny helpers, the truth is all of these things now which they don't coin for.
What's her Rita? What? Call me her handle. Together as one word.
Underscore.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't find them. I don't send them request. You remember she come now. Okay.
So
Let me read.
Okay.
The book of Thomas. Verse 77. It says, Christ said, I am the light that is all over. I am the all. The all came forth out of me. The all. And to me the all has come. Split a piece of wood, I am there. Lift the stone and you will find me there. You see, one of the reasons why they did not include this book was discovered along with the Nag Hammadi Library in Egypt in 1945. One of the reasons why they did not include this book in the Bible was this verse. Because this book takes, listen to this. He says, I am the light that is over all. I am the all, and the all came out from me. And to me, the all has come. When you talk about the all, have you sat down to think about it? Christ said, split a wood, you will find me there. Meaning that lift a stone, you will find me there. Meaning that there is nowhere you look on earth that Christ isn't. And that's the problem that destroys Nigeria, because in Nigeria, you have to go to church to find Christ. Meanwhile, Christ is in that song that you are listening to, that one the Cole is playing. Christ is in that downfall bus. Christ is around you. He is in you and around you. But you see, the problem with religion is religion takes Christ out of you and puts in a building. And those who run that building turn that into a business. That is why if you read Acts chapter 7 verse 48 and Acts chapter 17 verse 24, Stephen was in Acts chapter 7. He said, God does not live in buildings made out of built by human hands. And Paul echoed what Stephen said in Acts chapter 7, in Acts chapter 17. He said, God does not live in temples built by human hands. So my problem with prayer and church is the fact that you think that God will answer your prayers if you pray. Let me tell you, there are some prayers that are answered with or without you praying. Prayer is not important. I will say this and I'll defend it. Prayer is good, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying if you pray is bad. But there are 10 things you need to do before you pray. If you've not done them, you are wasting your time. Nigerians like to put the cart before the horse and get the horse to be pushing it. Meanwhile, you can just tie the cart to the horse and everything will flow. You see, the Bible says, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, 1 Corinthians chapter 14, Paul said, love is the greatest thing. Without love, you have nothing. There's no love in your heart and you are praying. You are wasting your time. Knowledge is what lets you know that love is more important than prayer. But you don't have knowledge. You have failed. How did you become a Christian? How can you pray as a Christian? Because you have faith in God. You don't need prayer to have faith. Darius did not pray to have faith. He saw Christ. The woman with the issue of blood did not pray to have faith. She said, as long as I can touch the hem of his garment, I'll be okay. We need to start removing prayer from where it was never inserted. I'm not saying prayer was not inserted in things, but you see, they make it look like for you to have faith, you have to pray. The woman with the issue of blood, let me tell you, read her story. She walked up to Christ, touched his garment, and was going on her own. It was Christ that said, somebody touched me. They say, who touched you? Inside this crowd, I want to know who touched you. He felt the virtue leave him. She did not pray. She did not even want to meet him. She just had enough faith that as long as I can connect with this guy, that's all, I'm good. Read about Darius. Read about Lazarus. They did not say a single prayer. Martha came to meet Christ, said, if you had been, she even they rake Christ, said, Baba, waiting be this. If you had been around, this would not have happened to our brother. So when we start realizing that faith, knowledge, love, obedience, discipline, forgiveness, Christ said, before you can forgive, before you can pray, remove, before you want to pray, make sure you are not holding anything against anybody. You will go and pray from morning to night. Meanwhile, nobody heart dark reach your own. And you think God, you are just going to do exercise. You are exercising your vocal cords. God is not going to answer you. Another thing I want you to talk about, read the Our Father. When Christ was asked, teach us how to pray. Do you know the prayer I gave you? Recite it. It take you 20 minutes to recite Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. It's a 20-second prayer. If you recite it slowly, Our Father who art in, you cannot use 1 minute to recite it. That's how short that prayer is. Meanwhile, that prayer says, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. There is a clause. You don't obey that clause because your pastors want to use you to eat. They will come on in the morning on Instagram and say what God cannot do does not exist. And they will open fire and speak in comedy tongues. And you will think they are praying for you. Ignorance kills faster than any. Nigeria is drowning because of ignorance. The stone that they tie to the Nigerian man's leg that is taking Nigeria to the bottom of the lake is ignorance. So, my dear Auntie Mary, you are looking very nice in this your towel that you are tying. Let us hear you. Let us hear you.
Thank you for adding it.
Yes.
I just wanted to state a certain point. What about the law of attraction? What about when we say, okay, you do good and good comes back to you? What about that aspect?
There's nothing wrong with that. You see, I don't want us to go into secular spirituality, which is what I sometimes refer to this. Things like karma, things like law of attraction. They're not Christian percepts. But you see, the universe has a way of rewarding good for good and evil for evil. It's just the way life is. And do I believe in it? There's so much that the Bible didn't talk about and Christianity has not addressed that exists. We can't run away from it. You see, even the concept of, let me ask you a question. How did Satan, tell me a story. Let me ask you about Satan. How did Satan come into existence?
Well, he was an angel.
Okay.
Until he rebelled against God and
Okay.
was driven away.
Okay. Can you show me a Bible verse that supports this theory you've just given me?
To be honest, it's what I heard in Sunday school.
Good. It doesn't exist. I studied Bible in original languages. There is nowhere in the Bible where this story of Satan being a beautiful angel, leading the choir, being the one with the best voice, it does not exist. The closest thing we have is Revelation chapter 12, when there was war in heaven and Satan was kicked out. But let me remind you, in Revelation chapter 8, the trumpets are blown. And Revelation chapter 9 starts with the Greek word ke, meaning and, a continuation of Revelation chapter 8. Revelation chapter 10 also starts with ke. Revelation chapter 11 also starts with ke. And Revelation chapter 12 also starts with ke, meaning the trumpets will be blown. All the trumpets will be blown before Satan is kicked out of heaven. So if the trumpets are going to be blown at the end times, that means Satan is either still in heaven now or has access to heaven to come and go freely, as we read in the book of Jacob. Chapter 1 and chapter 2, the angels gathered and Satan was with them. The angels gathered again and Satan was with them. Meaning he was roaming. And when they asked, where are you coming from? Say he was roaming the earth. So he can go to heaven anytime he likes and he can roam the earth anytime he likes. So how did we now get a story of a devil that was kicked out of heaven? It is mixing folklore with religion. It's called syncretism. That's the term for it. Now, I'll give you an example in Yoruba land and in Igbo land. Ekwensu in Igbo and Eshu in Yoruba is the description of the devil. But you see, the characteristics of Eshu and the characteristics of the biblical Satan are not the same. When Ajayi Crowder was translating the Bible to Yoruba from English, he came across the word Satan, and there was no Yoruba word for it. So he used a Yoruba deity that seemed to embody Satan. And he made a grave error because the Eshu is like a god, a Greek, if this Greek god Loki that looks for trouble, causes havoc, that's what Eshu is like in Yoruba folklore. But because that was the closest thing they had to this biblical Satan, they just said it must be him. So when you sit down, you need to understand that there's so many things like reincarnation. We've sat down here and we've talked about it. Reincarnation exists. People have had first-hand experiences, but it's not biblical. I'll give you another example. A spiritual husband. If you read the book of Tobit, now here's the confusion. You see, Christianity is like a car that has two legs under, two legs on top. The door is at the bonnet, the engine is on the back seat. Is confused. The book of Tobit is in the Bible, but only the Catholic Bible is not in the King James Bible. Now, the book of Tobit speaks of a demon called, what's this demon? Asmodeus. He was one of the demons Solomon trapped. If you read the Testament of Solomon, Solomon actually trapped Asmodeus and used him to build the temple of God. Now, that same Asmodeus mentioned in the Testament of Solomon was mentioned in the book of Tobit, that is only in the Catholic Bible. And he was the demon that prevented a lady called Sarah from getting married. Each time she wanted to get married, the demon would kill her husbands to be. And that is how, at the end of the day, she lost all 9 or 8 husbands. I've forgotten the exact figure. So, you now have a biblical verse that is not in the Bible but speaks of something. So our pastors just sat down and joined 5, 6, 7 and got 21, 22 and 23 without actually sitting down to understand that were these 5, 6 and 7 linked? The biggest problem we have is even Pentecostalism, because Catholic doctrine, even though it's filled with errors, was built on proper historical, scriptural basis. Pentecostalism, they will read one line in the Bible, and that one they will read that verse in Luke where Christ said, I saw Satan fall from heaven like lightning. Automatically, that is the Bible verse backing that Satan fell from heaven and is now roaming the earth. How did you guys get here? So what I'm trying to tell you at the end of the day is, you will discover that there are many things that exist that Christianity has not addressed. And there are also many things that Christianity needs. First of all, you need to be suspicious of motives. Whatever your pastor tells you, ask yourself, how is he profiting from this thing? If your pastor can profit from it, then you know that the motive is to wind you up to give him money. Do you realize that there are miracles that, just Google Buddhist miracles. Just Google miracles that happen to Buddhists. Miracles, I've witnessed a Muslim scholar perform a miracle before. I saw it happen. My sister was there. I have read about, I have even seen juju miracles. There was a time, let me give you an example. There was a time, and I'm telling you my personal experience now. There was a time I got into trouble with my dad. I was bad at school. So I now cut my hair. You know, my hair used to be plenty then. So I felt that if my father saw my results, he will beat me, cut my hair, my holiday will be a mess. So I now, even now, as stupid as I was, I now even went out and came home late and my father was looking for me. Anybody will know my papa, will know say my papa know well. So my father left the house shouting, where is this boy? So they now told me that, I was now afraid. I now had this friend called Kabiru. Kabiru was like a Muslim scholar. So I called Kabiru and I told him, Kabiru, say, you get one prayer when go do for me. Say, Papa go come, he go forget this thing. I said, na so me and Kabiru we go do ablution. We sit down for math. Kabiru say after me. I say, they recite the Quran and they recite after him. When they recite and finish, can't reach one stage, you can't say, make I ask for the thing. We two of us can't ask for the thing. While like I lie, my papa, we no get joy, came home that day and sat me down and started saying that, yeah, that he noticed that I really tried. That's why they look at him like this. I was expecting him to come home and give me the mother of all floggings. My papa began to talk, say, let me tell you, if you do exam and you score 80%, my papa go ask you, say, for that your class, person no we get 90, no day. I can't do exam, score 56. My papa can sit down and say, and that he believes that I put in effort and I really, that's why they look my papa. Like say he smoke drug. As in, he can't they smile with me, he no follow me fight. It has never happened before in my papa. Nothing we want to do we go satisfy him. So I saw that happen. Then another time I go into trouble, I now went to meet Kabir. I said, Kabir, go read that thing where you read for me that day. Go read them again. No. The guy no can't get my time. I find out, beg him. He now told me, he now gave me the Quranic verses. Read this, read me. I know Sabi read the Quran. Now so I know use it. But that first time, if that thing no work, I no go back, go look for him. As I was in trouble.
It was just your faith.
It could have been you are right, it could have been my faith. But it would have also been, because for him to be sure and tell me, this thing that he go read for me, say, make I no worry. Say, they go come, nothing go happen. And I swear to you, as my father will vex go for house, where I believe that they come now to peel my back. Then all of a sudden, so what am I trying to say in essence? Miracles exist in Christianity, in Islam, among pagans, among if all this blood money, all these rituals where they do, if you know they work, they're not going to cut people head up and down. At least out of 100, 3 or 4 go walk. You understand? When they say, this person using Peking do ritual, this person using Peking, then all of a sudden you get money. Some people say, they use their mama. If you know they work, when they do the ritual where they use their mama make money, then they call Jesus inside. But he work, I be no work. They'll come tell you saying, when you do that one, it will have its repercussions, it will have its repercussions, it will have its repercussions. Some people where we hear say do juju, they live old age and died normally. Fine, at the end of the day, their houses go scatter, but David for Bible in house no scatter. So when you see all these things, you just realize that look, follow your path, have your faith. Oh, pray. It's good to pray and it's good to develop a prayer life. But do not develop a prayer life and neglect your love life. Do not develop a prayer life and neglect your faith life. Do not develop a prayer life and neglect your knowledge life. Do not develop a prayer life and neglect your forgiveness life. In Nigeria, we just pray. We do nothing else. We pray. We hate. You will see person pray. You know when I learned this thing, when I was working in Cool FM, every in the morning they will come and they will do prayer meeting. Meanwhile, the people that are plotting to sack people, now then they lead the prayer meeting. So they will sit down and then they were plotting to even sack some people that are doing prayer meeting with them. This is how I was looking at them. Now they organize prayer meeting. Now still want to sack people for that same prayer meeting. So we need to that let me not talk too much. Kerry, what do you have to say? Because you want to go. Please, so nobody don't buy Star today. When I just enjoy the lecture, now full everywhere. 363 people are watching me on Facebook, on YouTube alone. 367 as I'm talking to you. 70 people are watching me on TikTok. That's already 400 and something. 259, 261 now are watching me on Facebook, and 571 on Instagram. So I have at least 1,000 plus people watching me live across all platforms, and only 3 people buy stars. Is this not a shame? When they enjoy it?
I'll contribute to the stars. Yeah. You said it's on
Facebook,
right?
Please feel free.
I'm not very frequent on Facebook, but I'll download it.
I'll follow you, Ose. It's where do you live?
I'm in the UK.
You are in this UK with us?
Yes, now that was why I said, you send me the location of the restaurant.
Oh,
On Sunday, we have to be part of.
You have to be parties on Sunday. Am I following you?
I don't think so. No. But
Okay.
This is my.
Okay, send me a message immediately we're done with this live. Let me follow you up. I like the way you think.
Yeah.
I like people that ask questions. And I don't have answers. Some people just believe that, oh, this Daddy Freeze, he has the answers to every question. No, I don't. I have answers to some questions. Some I don't even understand. Even you when... Sorry?
I said you're very clever. And to be honest, we need more Nigerians like yourself. You know, it's good to question things. You know, you don't just go by what people say and what you've read. It's good. Yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. It's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Actually, coming from a ministerial background, my parents are ministers.
Tell me your story. Tell me your story. Let's hear you. Because if your parents are ministers, what made you feel like there's something else out there that you're not being able to access?
Okay, so my parents were journalists, but my mom went into ministry.
Okay.
And when she went into ministry, destroyed their relationship. So I pretty much then grew up without my dad. And then we didn't move from...
Sorry. Explain this. Because I'm going to... man, people just come Saturday, buy stars all of a sudden. Where would I put on her head before? Irene Adepoju, thank you so much. Irene Adepoju sent 1,000 stars. Chioman Wachuku, thank you. Mark Julius, thank you. Prince CK, thank you. Odili Angela, Femi Aderogba, thank you guys. I'm so happy. Let's talk about your parents' relationship. I'm sorry, I'm going to use a bit of your video out there, because recently I've been going through a spate of testimonies of how relationships were ruined by religion.
Yeah.
As in, even my parents' relationship, I wouldn't say was ruined by religion, but religion contributed. And my relationship with my dad was ruined because of my dad's very strict religious views. And for like 10 years, we're not friends, we're not talking. And it made me, sorry, I talk a lot. I'm going to allow you share your story. It made me tone down certain things, even in the Free Nation. Because in the Free Nation, we don't celebrate birthdays, for instance. And I was very strict about it at a point because birthdays have their origin in paganism. There's no biblical instance of anybody celebrating a birthday except for Pharaoh, who was pagan, and Herod, who was pagan, and people were killed when they were celebrating their birthdays. And then also Job, his children, is only the NLT version of the Bible that says on their birthdays. Every other Bible says on their days. That's why I don't use that as an explicit example. But it was after those, on one of those their days, that all his children were killed. So I have, and also the whole Christmas being Christ's birthday. But you see, I sat down, I thought about it. I'm like, I saw my dad lose his kids over strict religious beliefs. And I'm like, I'm going to try to, I don't want it to be that I'm toning down the faith to accommodate, but I will allow my children to visit their friends who are celebrating birthdays. But of course, you pray over them and tell them to what. But let them know that they shouldn't celebrate birthdays. If they want to buy drinks with their family and just, but that celebration, I worry about it. And it's always surrounded with a lot of bad luck and all. Christmas, for instance, there was a time I went to my children's school and I told them that they should not drag them into anything Christmas, that my children don't believe in Christmas. Now, I tend to, so that my children will not say, oh, my dad was the Grinch that stole Christmas. We are not celebrating Christmas in our house. We're not going to have a Christmas tree. But if your school celebrates Christmas, you can celebrate it with them. You cannot celebrate it, but you can participate. They can use you to do one of the wise men or whatever it is they want to do around that period is okay. Just the way we celebrate with a Muslim who is celebrating Salah. So why am I saying this? Because I saw what it did to my relationship with my dad. And I saw that religion was at the there were times when I couldn't relate with my dad simply because of religious beliefs. We were like, it was, then gradually it took a long time. And I don't want to deny my children a father because of religious beliefs. I will let them know the truth. The truth is, this is the truth. You have to know it. And I'm not going to indulge you by doing it in my house. But if your friend is having a birthday, I will not tell you not to go, or that, like, Jehovah Witness, if they share cake, they will not eat birthday cake.
Yeah.
I understand where they're coming from. And I understand that, yes, they are right in the fact that it is a pagan ritual. However, let your children experience life. Because at the end of the day, once Pekin don't reach 21, tell you, say, now waiting one do this. If you beat them. So tell me about your parents and how this religion affected them. I'm so sorry about taking you back, but I just want to hear you out also.
Yeah, so as I'll say, they were well-known Nigerian journalists. And so I was born in Kano, and pretty much then later on grew up in Kaduna. But as I said initially, my mom then moved towards ministry. She was with Mountain of Fire, Assemblies of God, one of those core hard ones. And then just changed from, the CC that my dad once knew. Wasn't really wearing makeup, or are you still there?
Oh, we're here and we're listening to you.
Wasn't wearing, she just changed, became radical. And then it just affected the whole relationship. And they now divorced. I might have been like 4 at the time when they got divorced. It was me and my sister. And since that period, when that happened, I lost all contact with my dad. I didn't have any father in my life. I was pretty much brainwashed, obviously because apparently my dad was an unbeliever, in quotes, So we ended up leaving Nigeria. That's me, my mom, and my sister, to Holland. And my dad didn't know our whereabouts because of the divorce. And then, for years, I didn't have any contact with my dad up until I was now 20. And that was when I moved to the UK. And then I met my husband at uni. Then he said, so he asked about my dad. I said, my dad's dead. And then he said, is he really, really dead? I didn't explain the whole thing to him. I said, well, I don't have a dad. I don't have anything to do with my dad. To me, I thought, because they left when I was little, I thought my dad abandoned us, again, as I said, what we were brainwashed with. So my husband now convinced me to research and look for him. So I typed in my last name, and then it came up with his works and all of that. And then I tried contacting the newspaper he was writing for, and then I was able to get contact to one of his colleagues that then linked me up to him. They said, your daughter, calling from the UK, wants to speak to you. When my dad picked up the phone, he broke down crying, after not seeing me for 16 years. So 3 months later, I did tell him that I'll come see him and all of that, My dad then died. So, exactly.
So you never got to see him?
I never got to see my dad. So I was pretty much like one of those kids that was abducted by their parents.
Wow.
But I'll be honest with you, till now, that void has not been filled, And I've forgiven my mom, but it's hard for me to forget because I feel deprived, of fatherhood.
Do you know who you should not forgive? Do you know who you actually should hold a grudge with? The person that brainwashed your mother with that false doctrine.
Yeah. So, so that then, before then, I was very, very into church, Pentecostalism, as you call it. But after that, I was pained, and I said, how can a Christian have held such grudge for so long? And I then shifted away from Christianity, and I would say I'm like half at the moment. I won't lie to you. My mom knows that as well, and as you can hear, my voice is shaking because each time I think about it and I remember it, it hurts me. So that's basically it. So that just twisted my mind not against Christianity. I just felt, you know what, I'll just rather be a good person. Do you understand? And I'll just rather be a good person and not let what happened dim the light in me. Do you understand? So not basically turn evil because of that. And obviously learn from it that it doesn't happen in the life of my own children. So yeah, that was basically it. So I never got to see him again. That's it.
That's quite sad, especially when your dad was not toxic.
No.
I know sometimes when children are prevented from seeing a parent, children always think, oh, it's my parent. Some parents are really dangerous. Some parents are really toxic and dangerous. And I do believe that some parents, if allowed, can be very negative to the mind of a child that is blossoming. It's not every parent that is, oh my, some parents are so toxic that you need to walk with them with caution. But the reason should not be religious. If your father was beating your mother, for instance, and she ran away and took you away, I would have a different perspective. If your father was sleeping with everything, sometimes parents would shield a child and run away. Listen, some people say, even if he's a bad father, no, 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 no. I don't succumb to that. There are some places where I draw the line. Intimate, as in, I don't want to use the word S3X. You understand? If your father was, or if a father, let me not use your father, had that problem, I will not advise the woman to let her children have contact with him until they are old enough.
Yeah.
Now, you also need to understand that your mother's mind was fragile. The human mind is very fragile. And even the Bible warns about wives who just want to hear every new teaching. Don't blame your mother as much. Your mother will not willfully take you away from your father. Her mind was in an altered state. And once they walk down that religious tightrope, they never go back. I'm sure your mother still goes to that church till now.
Oh, my mom's still a minister, and she's very disappointed with the fact that I'm not a deaconess by now. You understand? So
once they get lost in that realm, you can never find them again.
no,
Religion is so dangerous. It's a rabbit hole, it's a quagmire, it's quicksand.
Yeah, my mom still doesn't believe what she did was wrong. And everyone, because I had to do my own research as well. I had to investigate who my dad was. You know, I asked his friends, I asked family, I asked everyone, even people that just knew him down the street. And everything came back positive, that my dad was an awesome person. He helped people that actually came back helping me down the line. Because as I said, I moved here, I didn't know anybody. And they were trying to now connect me to certain people. So he wasn't a bad person, but what I have observed, and I'll use this opportunity to say this now, I am that child. If you have problems with your partner and it's not working out, don't let the child suffer from it. I know what I'm saying. I am still bitter, I'm still hurt about it. So, no, let me just send the message out, you know? So please, at least let your child have contact with any of the parents. So that is just it. Yeah. It's selfishness.
So, thank you, my darling sister. Kerry, go and sleep. They say I should let you go and sleep before you. Bye. So, Ose, you two, thank you so much. Thank you. It's a really emotional stage that we're at, you know. And I really do wish I wish you can forgive your mom, because she took a step that she thought was right, but it wasn't her, it was religion. That's how dangerous religion is. So do take care of yourselves. I'm going to send you please guys, come and buy stars. By the way, we are going now. No, not you, Ose. I mean, is Ose your name?
Let me just give you a few minutes so that I can go on Facebook to buy the stars.
Oh, that's so sweet of you, Ose. Thank you so much, Rita. Thank you for sharing your story. Yeah, I saw him in the background.
Welcome to the UK. I didn't want to disturb the.
No, thank you so much for being her backbone. because I can see that she's been through a lot.
No doubt.
Thank you, Rita.
Just remember this. We'll be seeing you soon.
Hopefully. Rita, send me your I'll add you to the WhatsApp group.
You will see what we do in the UK.
Okay.
Follow us, and yeah, we'll be in contact.
All right then.
Have a good one. Yeah, thank you so much.
Take care, Rita.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Yeah.
Somebody talk. There was a comment to somebody make. I want to quickly talk about that shortly.
Mm-hmm.
When you were explaining, things that work. You don't say in the passing that even blood money, people wey dey do am, they work for them. Otherwise, people for not they do am. Somebody can say if it dey work, why Nigeria not take cancel their debt? See, the dumbest question person will ask them be that.
I see.
We are talking about blood money. They say person die to generate money. So when Nigeria now come kill everybody, take pay debt. See, the person when go do blood money, it will say all your day backyard when they tap, they sell. You know go reason now. Sometimes you don't get to a person go talk where you say it will make sense to them, but it ultimately don't make sense. Bad government for this country now ain't the major problem of Nigeria. You see, Nigeria and a country, they say, get places where you go to stay. If you stay for like 10 years, you know, go here one shot. You understand? But America, say you know here one shot for 2 weeks. It be like miracle. It be like miracle. However, where you hear more gunshots, there is more security in terms of say you are sure that if somebody shoot person, they will see and catch. Unlike Nigeria, where we say if it take you know your gunshot depending on your area, but something they just stop, nothing will see happen to the person. So our government have really destroyed the system to the point that people rely on God for what man is supposed to do for man. Those are the biggest problem we have with religion in Nigeria. Because the government has so failed to the point that even what God not supposed to do for us, we carry and go meet God. Imagine you want to go to school, you need to pray for admission. I think get something so when they pray for we say it not really makes sense. You pray to gain admission, you pray to pass. Then you pray to go through the school, lecturer and not punish you because there's really no system to complain to. There's no punishment for the ones where they do bad. Then you can't finish. You can't see pray me they send you go states where they no go kill you. It doesn't some kind of things it is vexed person. Nigeria really needs good governance. Once there is good governance, as time goes on, as they spoil the country, and as so it will take repair, it gonna time it just spoil the day. So if we can have people who run the state the way it is supposed to be run, a lot of times people argue say, oh, America, their democracy don't take, not by don't take. A man who learns by his own mistakes is a foolish man. When people don't pass through something before, you learn from those who have passed through it. Not say you want to see pass them, then you take no. No, people don't pass them before. Things when they study for school, they advertise time don't discover things. We can't read them. We're not possible to still discover electricity by ourselves. People don't discover them. Why can't we just go through and just learn? So Nigeria, one of the biggest things we need is good governance, a better government. And I've come to discover that a lot of times in the name of politics, some Nigerians say no they think. I don't talk to people that don't say, thank God if God say it will be. We must not push our responsibility to God. Our responsibility, let's do it. So that the one where God will do, God will do one. The one we need to do, we have to take action and do it. And again, many people must understand that same person not dey make progress, not mean say he gets enemy wey cause am.
Absolutely.
There are times of life where person will go through stress and normal things. See, there are ups and downs, ups and downs. And so if you drive, they travel. Say you climb one hill, don't mean say another hill not in front. Brace yourself. Know that there is hill, there is valley, there is, pass through it. Get yourself prepared for life and go through life without really blaming forces for the wrongs and trying to rationalize it and say, oh, but let's say, guess what, this way they drag me back. Like one thing you said that I really like is we all need to understand ourselves and understand how we make it. There are jobs when we say some people don't need to do. They don't have the personality for it. There are people who cannot talk. Once camera face them, they don't fit talk. Everything they want to don't disappear. But then they press the thing for background, they type. They feed it from background, they tell you, say, get what you miss. But give them microphone. But they just sit down, they don't fit talk anything again. But such a person can be a very good employee, an accountant that will be successful in accounting. Another person, they won't get discipline to sit down right. But if you open mouth, they talk. That's his thing. Such a person will be a very good communicator. Not everyone will do business.
You are right, my brother. Time don't reach when me I want go sleep now. You don't try. Me and you two don't try. Thank you, Peter Ebojele. Thank you so much. Real quick, I still never see my stars, oh guys. Oh yeah, go my Facebook now. I give you 5 minutes. Peter go they talk, they go 5 minutes. I go count down for now. Oh yeah, go my Facebook now. See, let me tell you how easy it is to buy stars. When you go to my Facebook, when you go to your own Facebook, search bar, top right corner, type Daddy Freeze. When my page appears, you know it's my page. 700 and something thousand followers, blue tick. Just click on today's video, drop in there and buy some stars. Oh yeah, quickly. Now. Peter Ebojele, thank you so much for joining us live.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
I cut cap for you. Oh yeah. Thank you guys. Peter, me and you go talk later. God bless you.
All right. Okay, sir.
Make I hail. Oh wow, somebody don't buy small stars. Make I just hail them. Chido Okonu, thank you so much. It's Mio, thank you. So far, Irene Adekboju, thank you so much. Shoman Wachuku, thank you. Mark Julius, thank you. Prince CK Atenaga, thank you guys so very, very much. I appreciate you guys loads. Oh yeah. The rest of you as now they go. Oh yeah, go to buy star, they go. Buy some stars and go. Good night, Mazi Obinaya. Ethan Wankor. DF, this live they hot. Yes, so thank you, Henry the Great, my brother. Made my you. How far? Omo Petite. Thank you. Thank you so much. Blessed night to you all. God bless you guys. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, everyone, too, on YouTube. Come to Facebook and come and buy stars. YouTube people sabi they stingy. Hey, stingos.